This video falls under fair use. Fair use allows commentary, criticism, and reactions. What's up, back with another one. So today I'm going to show you this clip of Tony calling out Jimmy Henchman, and this one's got some serious history behind it. If you know anything about that era, G-Unit, old beefs, the music industry drama, you already know this runs deep. Tony is bringing up some real moments involving one of the most talked about figures from back in the day. So let's not waste time, check this clip out.
You know, with Game, our situation got sticky because of Jimmy Henchman was his management. You know, I feel like that beef, I never had a problem with Jimmy Henchman. That was inherited from Chris Lighty. Chris Lighty and Jimmy Henchman never got along. You know, that was their thing. We messed with Chris Lighty, Violator, rest in peace to him. You know, he was a big part of 50's career, a big part of Fat Joe's career, a big part of LL career, a big part of Foxy Brown career, a big part of Diddy career. A lot of artists and on and on. You know, he was a pillar of hip hop. He worked the Tunnel, one of the most dangerous clubs to work at. You know, I should always shout out Chris Lighty because I remember being at Violator with Mona Scott, which is a genius. She got love of hip hop and all that stuff, right? You had James Cruz there, right? Which was a smart guy. You had Yandy, which was smart. You had Claudine, which worked with LL. So that was like a part of the machine. But that beef was inherited. And then rest in peace to my man Lodi Mack. You know, we went down, they said we Henchman's son. You know, the thing that wowed me about the Henchman situation was, how you want to sue me and kill me? It gotta be one or the other.
Pick
you know,
one.
my life, when I write my book, listen, when I write my book, it's gonna be one of the craziest books ever. How you want to sue me and kill me? And I could talk about this because Henchman down for natural life for selling drugs anyway. He was putting in like stereo speakers and shit like that. Dumb shit. He was being watched. Feds watch everybody in this business. But there's no way you could sue me and want to kill me. Your son? Cool, I understand. You want to kill me, just kill me. Or you could have took I always looked at that situation like he could have, instead of killing my man Lodi Mack, supposedly, but he got arrested for it because all his niggas told on him. Right? All the niggas that he had doing dirt with him, shooting the mother house up, his driver, it's all documented. I ain't snitching, I ain't telling not. It's all documented, it's all in paperwork. Those are the same niggas he had doing dirt told on him. Right? But I looked at my man Lodi Mack, which, all right, we shot your son. I understand you want to kill somebody, right? Supposedly. And I didn't even shot your son. My man did, right? Supposedly. And instead of, I think, killing my man Lodi Mack, I think you should have just kidnapped him, broke his legs, broke his arms, and we would have got the point. I understand when it comes to your kid, because touch your kid or anybody else's kid, I understand. But with that situation right there, rest in peace to my man Lodi Mack, I always felt like y'all didn't have to, y'all could have just beat him up bad.
Right.
Break his ribs, break his arms, break his legs.
Right.
We would have got the point. I know I would have got the point. Niggas tortured this cool and drop him off. I'm quite sure he wouldn't have said that. But he got unalived over some rap. And that's when there's a thin line between the industry and real shit.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that being with 50. It's bulletproof trucks and getting shot at and all kinds of shit. Serious.
Yeah.
Even with the Ja Rule shit, like I said. If a pistol was in the room at that time, Ja Rule wouldn't even be here. He wouldn't be here. I would have finished him.
I'm glad it wasn't no pistol in there.
Yeah. I wasn't no rapper at that point. I was a street nigga. So for me, that's what we live by. And it's a sad thing. But come in there, that's nothing but self-defense. 50 probably, if 50 would have did it or I would have did it, no career, and Ja Rule would have been out of here because the was there. And that's how easy it is. One decision can change anybody's life. But I'm glad that didn't happen because look how far we've been.
Yeah.
You know?
What's up? So what are my thoughts about this? Here's the thing. Anytime you hear Tony, the talk of New York, speak on these past situations, you can feel how personal and serious they were. And when the name Jimmy Henchman comes up, it brings a whole different energy. Jimmy wasn't just a behind-the-scenes figure, he was known as a gang boss with serious street ties, and he also managed major artists like The Game. That dual role made him a powerful figure in both the music industry and in the streets. The situation between him and the crew Tony was a part of clearly went beyond words. Things happened, tensions rose, and decisions were made that changed lives forever. While we'll never know every detail, what we do know is that it all spiraled to a place no one could have expected. Jimmy Henchman eventually faced serious legal consequences, and now he's serving life in prison. It's wild to think how something rooted in music and ego can grow into something with such permanent consequences. This whole story is a reminder that these aren't just entertainment headlines. Real people, real families, and real futures are affected when things go that far. And while Tony is speaking on it now, years later, the weight of it all still hangs heavy. Sometimes the past doesn't just stay in the past, it becomes a lesson that keeps echoing through the culture. Okay, so drop a comment, smash that like button, and make sure you subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next video.